After 5 long years, we are finally approaching the release of Breath of the Wild 2, aka Tears of the Kingdom. The final trailer before the game's release was just shown off, and it's got me excited, not gonna lie. So I figured since the game's gonna be out soon, that now would be a good time to talk about it. Specifically, what is going to be in the game, and some of the hopes and wishes I have for it. Now, I'm not gonna lie, before this final trailer, I wasn't really all that hyped for this game. It just felt like the creators kept everything about it top secret with only little bits and crumbs released to us every other Nintendo Direct. But after seeing the gameplay reveal in the final trailer, I gotta say I'm looking a lot more forward to this than I thought I would. For starters, it looks like there's gonna be a lot more emphasis placed on the story this time, with the appearance of the Sky Islands, the police from Zelda and whatnot, and the return of the Beefcake Ganondorf. Like, god damn, that is ironically one of the best designs for him yet. But him being here means that we actually have an antagonist who can speak and think for himself this time, unlike Calamity Ganon, which no shade to Calamity Ganon or anything. You know, he fulfilled his role as a force of nature or whatnot, but this guy can actually think and speak for himself. He could have a little more interesting dialogue going on here. I mean, some of my favorite Zelda games are the ones that put a big emphasis on the story. One of my gripes with Breath of the Wild was that there wasn't a whole lot of it. There were like bits and crumbs you had to search for throughout the map, which worked fine enough, but really, once you get past the prologue, all it really is just meeting some titans and then heading to the castle to beat Ganon. I understand that's what the intention was, in order to give the player the freedom to do whatever they want in whatever order, but still. However, that does not seem the case with this game. Now, I'm no theorist or anything, but I have heard from other people online that this game might be about breaking the reincarnation cycle the characters have been since the death of Demise, which to me sounds metal as hell. But we'll wait and see if that comes true. But enough about the story, what about the gameplay? First, let's focus on combat. From the gameplay reveal, we saw that we could combine different weapons with each other and create some wacky inventions to go with it. This seems to be really in-depth with a lot of variety and options at the player's disposal. You got homing arrows and smoke bombs now. Like, what are we even talking about here? Also, sneak attacks are a thing now, which will no doubt be coming in handy. I mean, honestly, as far as combat is concerned, I think this is just a step up in almost every way from Breath of the Wild. The only thing I could really hope for is maybe some more, like, combos for each weapon type. I just wonder how fusing things with a Master Sword is gonna play out. That would be wacky. But that's enough about combat for now. What about exploration? Well, from what we've seen, it seems like that's just been stepped up as well. This time around, we got a whole bunch of Sky Islands to glide around on, which if you really think about it, it's kind of just Skyward Sword's hub, but better. For real though, this does seem just like an expanded upon form of the sky from that game, with you being able to simply jump off and land on the ground without having to go through a loading screen. Also, it seems like there's going to be more islands with assumedly much more to do opposed to a single floating rock with a chest on it. Not that I'm trying to diss Skyward Sword though, top 3 Zelda games for sure, but I am also curious just how much the ground has changed as well. The first game was massive as it is, so is Tears of the Kingdom going to change it substantially, or keep it the same? They could even shrink it to accommodate for the Skylands for all we know. While I don't need the entire map to be different, I do hope there are some notable changes to the map, like new structures or buildings created, or maybe some destroyed landmarks and whatnot. One of the things I'm looking forward to is making a bunch of wacky vehicles and zooming through Hyrule, picking up bitches left and right. But what kind of Zelda game would this be if it didn't have dungeons? Now, one of my biggest complaints with the first game was that the Divine Beast dungeons will all look and function the exact same way. You get in, take control of the beast to move one of its body parts, fight a mini Ganon, and bada boom, roll credits. It was cool at first, but having to do the same thing 3 more times just gets a little repetitive. So I hope that the Dungeons and Tears of the Queendom have more variety to each of them, and have more unique bosses for each. So those are my thoughts on the upcoming Tears of the Princedom. Overall, I'm looking forward to it now that I know a little bit more of what to expect. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are in the comments below. Until next time, see ya!